It was black boys who had comments about my hair, and it wasn't always insulting comments, but the comments always kind of exposed like this undercurrent of self-hate, this undercurrent of hair dysmorphia. There was always this layer of the way our hair just looks is not okay. Like, it's not as pretty. It's not the same as, like, we're always in comparison with another standard. And the standard that we compare ourselves to is a Eurocentric standard. And our little boys do it too, and it's not okay. The hair dysmorphia isn't just the black girls and black women, it's the black boys. So as y'all know, and I talked about this before, I'm a new mom. I have a daughter who's 13 months old, and I talk about a lot like her being one of the catalysts to this new journey that I'm honest, she's not the only catalyst, right? I also just want to be free. Like, I finally want to be free to wear my natural hair, and I've been loving this freedom. But my daughter really has inspired me, because we sit and we read all these books about curl love and you're perfect the way you are and love your hair and all this stuff. And I realized like it was really hypocritical that I was reading her these books about loving herself, loving her nose, loving her eyes, loving her lips, loving her hair. And then I was like turning around, putting on a wig and wearing like eye contact lenses. So I say all that to say, like, children really matter. What we do as adults matters to how children see themselves. And it's not just the girls that are impacted by the way we black women carry ourselves, whether we wear wigs or we don't. It's not just girls that get impacted by that. Boys are also impacted by that. And I've talked about it in my videos before, like how my hair dysmorphia literally had me looking in the mirror at myself and feeling so ugly. Like, I didn't recognize myself with my natural hair, even though my natural hair is mine. You know what I mean? Like, when I get compliments for my natural hair, I can proudly say, thank you, this is my natural hair. When I get complimented on a wig, which never really happens, it's uncomfortable. It's like, what are you gonna compliment me about? Like, where'd you buy it? And that's usually what it is. Like, it's so uncomfortable. And now that I've been awakened, I realize the fact that like, the wigs were never who I was. The wigs were never my beauty. And it's hard to even claim that a wig or extensions or hair that doesn't belong to me could make me beautiful. That's super abnormal. That's super absurd to ever claim that, because that's me just saying that this other person is so beautiful that I had to borrow their beauty to feel even a little bit of that beauty. That is not okay. That is just so harmful and detrimental to our community as a whole, to our own self-concept, to our own self-esteem as black people. I say people because, once again, like I'm saying in this video, hair dysmorphia does not just impact black girls and women. It impacts black boys. So let me tell you a story. So y'all know I'm an educator. When I was a teacher, way back when I was working in Boston, and I was working with a school that was predominantly black and brown, a lot of Haitian kids, a lot of Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Liberians, like the whole thing. It was a beautiful cultural experience. It was wonderful. And a lot of the kids there, you know, like wearing their natural hair, but they still were wearing extensions. They were still doing things with their hair, manipulating it, breaking their hair off, because they would have their hair in these tight styles for long periods of time just so that they would have length. And I, as an adult, would have my hair, you know, short. I would try my best to like give them an example of a woman who loved herself, but I would still have my extensions in too, right? But most of the time, I'll be honest, I did have my TWA, my little fro, because I was like, it felt good to be at a school with a lot of black and brown kids. After school, I had a after school duty to walk the kids to the Boys and Girls Club, and it would be all kids of different ages. I personally worked with the middle schoolers. I've always worked with middle school kids. I taught middle school math, but I would, at the end of the day, walk all age groups to the Boys and Girls Club that was right down the street. And it would be like first graders, it would be, or was it ever first grade? I'm trying to think, were they first graders? It was like second graders, third graders, fourth graders, fifth graders. It was like from third grade onward. And there was a little third grader, a third grade boy, who would see me all the time. And one time I had really long hair, right? Like, it was like long box braids, and then I took it out and I had my short fro. And he told me, he's like, oh, I prefer you when your hair is long. I prefer you with your braids. And that hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings. And I didn't say anything to him in that moment, because I don't ever want to take offense. I'm very patient with people. I'm like, I'm not gonna take offense. I'm gonna digest it, work through it on my own, and then come back with whatever I've come up with. So then the following day, I saw this little boy and I was like, hey, I need to talk to you. And mind you, this is a third grader, right? And I'm used to working with like the older kids, like the 8th graders, the 7th graders. But I also think it's really important that we talk to kids the way we need to talk to them. Like we have to talk to the kids honestly and boldly and with love. So I pulled him aside and I was like, I need to talk to you. Do you remember yesterday when you told me you liked my hair better when it was long? He was like, yes. And I said, well, honestly, that really hurt my feelings. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I was like, yeah. Like, here's the thing. It hurt my feelings because what you just told me was you don't like me the way I am. You're telling me that you prefer me when I'm doing something that actually isn't who I am. And he sat there and his eyes were like glistening. He was just listening, really enthralled with the conversation. And he said, I'm sorry, miss. I won't do it again. And this is a 3rd grader. And this is a conversation I had years ago. And I had those conversations a lot with students. I had students who would ask me, miss, why don't you put gel in your hair? Why don't you like let your hair lay down? And I would always tell them like, I actually just don't like gel. I prefer my hair to do what it does. And I would be honest. And meanwhile, on the weekends, I would be throwing on a wig. They didn't know that, but I would go to work with my natural hair. But then on the weekends when I wanted to look cute, I'd have a wig right on top of my head, you know? So I was dealing with my hair dysmorphia and so were these children. But again, like it was black boys who had comments about my hair and it wasn't always insulting comments, but the comments always kind of exposed like this undercurrent of self-hate, this undercurrent of hair dysmorphia. There was always this layer of the way our hair just looks is not okay. Like it's not as pretty. It's not the same as, like we're always in comparison with another standard. And the standard that we compare ourselves to is a Eurocentric standard. And our little boys do it too. And it's not okay. And we need to talk to our little boys gently. We need to talk to our men gently and let them know. And we have to be honest too, because I didn't tell him that, oh, don't talk, like I didn't come at him like, don't say that about my hair because I prefer my hair like blah blah blah. I didn't say like I prefer my hair. I let him know like that actually hurt my feelings. Kids and adults need to know the impact that their words have on you. And we also as the adults need to be mindful of the messaging that we're sending inadvertently. Sometimes it's unknowingly. Sometimes it's like you're saying something about your kid's hair in a negative way, in a negative tone, like, oh, that's so nappy, like, oh, I can't do your hair, it's taking too much time, like, or even just not saying anything at all. Sometimes it's the lack of effort you put into their hair. Sometimes it's the way you dismiss them about their hair struggles, or you dismiss them when they want you to do their hair, or whatever it is. That messaging isn't only getting fed to like the little girls, but it's getting fed to the little boys who become grown men. And I have to hold myself accountable as a mom now. Our kids are really watching the mamas, right? They watch what we do a lot. We are the mamas, so we have a responsibility to feel beautiful in the mirror while we're playing with our natural short hair. It could be short, it could be medium, it could be long, whatever. But if it's natural, I'm talking about my natural girls. With your natural hair, play with it, love it, speak life into it. Let your little boys and your husbands, your cousins, your brothers, let everyone see how much you love your natural hair. That is what's going to help this hair dysmorphia epidemic that's going on, because the hair dysmorphia isn't just the black girls and black women, it's the black boys. There have been so many times, and not, you know, it hasn't been super often. I can't say that it's so many times, but there are notable times that I can remember in high school where when I first told a group of guy friends, 'cause I used to hang out with guys when I was in high school. The boys loved me. What can I say? Didn't love them back, but because I was like, I have my daddy. My daddy's my best friend. I don't know what y'all trying to do. I'm best friends with my dad. I don't need none of y'all. But I'm so silly. But I would hang out with these boys, and I was telling them, like, it was senior year, and I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to go natural. I'm so excited to go natural. They were like, you're gonna go natural? Good luck finding anyone who likes you, or good luck finding a boyfriend. Like, why would you go natural in college? Like, they couldn't fathom why I wanted to be natural when I had bra strap, like, past the shoulder length, relaxed hair. They couldn't, because they thought, girl, not only are you dark skinned, not only are you Nigerian, but you actually were blessed with hair that grows. You better not block your blessings. You better not block your blessings. That's what they were thinking. They were thinking that if I were to cut my hair and start over, it would be the end of my beauty. And I'm here to tell you that was just the beginning, baby. Chopping my hair off was just the beginning of my beauty. And then it got taken away from me with these wigs and the hair dysmorphia. And now I've been doing a lot of natural hairstyle therapy, which I talk about in one of my videos, and I talk about in this video. I talk about it a few times, but natural hairstyle therapy for me is literally learning how to love my natural hair. Because if I love my natural hair, my husband's gonna love it, my daughter's gonna love it, people around me are gonna love it. Because when you pour love into something, it literally just shines from within. You don't gotta do too much, you really don't. Anyway, that's the end of this video. I love you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.